Hello, SpaceBreaker. Overnight genetic backup complete. Pattern deviation nominal. Have a good day.
I think I will. And good morning, shipbreakers. We're back. And it's another fine day. Now, if you happen to hear any kind of fans running in the background, it's because Lynx doesn't feel like they should have to pay for any kind of air conditioning, which is perfectly acceptable. However, the sun has decided to be angry and sit up in the sky and cook everything. So if you hear that, that's what's going on. Me personally, I believe Lynx is absolutely correct. Because there's nothing better in a recruitment poster than to see a sweaty man or woman inside a spacesuit working real hard for their money. Alright. We have a few more tokens to spend, so let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to go ahead and increase the amount of charges that we get. We're almost done, look at that. Alright, let's start our shift. And today we get to pick a new ship. Now we could continue this ship, but I don't think there's anything left of it. So let's go ahead and find something fun. What would be considered fun? This is fun. The Vatkov 9. It's a Lynx transport. Ah, so we get to cut up one of our own. That's okay. Whatever they did to be ousted from the ship, I'm certain they deserved it. Because Lynx is a fair corporation. Alright. It's very peaceful being out in space. Actually, it's very peaceful being alone most of the time. Most of the time. Being alone all the time probably isn't the best way to go. Everyone needs a good dose of people. If only to remind you what it is you're trying to avoid.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
Alright. So I've been doing this thing lately. Sorry, I'm trying to get, I don't want to say in the mood. That's not what I'm trying to do. I am in the mood. I'm in the mood. Sometimes I'm trying to get in the mood. I'm fighting urges. I'm fighting let's play urges. My urges are to just talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. What's going on in the game? But there's not much going on in the game. It's just playing the game. You play the game, you cut some things. I mean, if something interesting happens in the game, of course you want to talk about what's going on in the game. But right now, nothing interesting. Just doing my job, right? It's just a job. A job like any other. So I'm fighting that urge. I'm trying to expand and grow and talk about things outside the game, things that are different, personal, things that have to do with real life and real people. Important stuff, right? Right. Something serious in the background or in the foreground against something silly in the background. Is that how that works? That's how you get the point across. Make a joke, but about something serious. Anyway, I don't want to give the store away, though. That's the thing. You don't want to give away the store, because the worst thing you can do, other than blow up a fuel tank, the worst thing that you can do is to give all your secrets away. And for those of you who just got that song stuck in your head, you are welcome. Well, there's 3 sets of tanks. I can't count. But I've been thinking about projects to work on. I have a long list of projects to work on. As a matter of fact, I have so many projects to work on, and they've been sitting there for so long that other people are completing my projects. No, I know what that sounds like. That sounds like when you're at the bar, or coffee shop, library, school, work, talking to a customer, wherever, it doesn't matter. And you get that guy who tells you, I had this really great idea for a movie. And then they went and made Avatar, and that was my idea. And you're like, uh-huh. You know, and what he means by that is, you know, evil corporations steal stuff from local alien race, which is basically, you know, white people versus Native Americans. A tale as old as time. And you're welcome for that song, too. But this is one of those things where I literally wrote down an idea for something, And in this case, it was a physical something. Actually, I can just tell you what it is, because it's not like it's going to ruin it now. It's not like I'm going to give away the store.
Salvage
As I was saying.
deposited.
There's a crafter on YouTube, and you guys should totally check him out. He's an amazing crafter, and he's a lot of fun. And his name is the Crafsman, and it's Crafsman. No T. There's no T. The man drinks coffee. There is no T.
Salvage registered.
Actually, I don't know what
Transferring
Craftsman
credit.
drinks. He might drink both or either. Oh, that was a dark thought. Anyway,
Salvage
he
credits deposited.
he does crafting. He's a really good guy. He's actually kind of gotten me into doing crafting stuff because I always liked the idea of crafting. I was just never very good at it and didn't know what to do. And by watching other crafters, I've sort of learned. And so what happened is when I was living in New York for a short period. Not that that part would have mattered, but that just happened to be where I was at the time. I found these little plastic cars at the dollar store, because crafters love going to the dollar store. You craft everything from the dollar store. The dollar store is not a place to buy things you use. The dollar store is a place you buy things to craft other things. That's just how it goes. And they had these little plastic cars, and the plastic cars are easily disassemblable. You can easily disassemble them, as it were. It's like they're all Johnny 5. And I found them, and I thought they were really awesome. And I'm like, I want to make something out of this. And at the time, people were doing a lot of Gasland cars. People still do a lot of Gasland cars, and most of the time those are done out of Hot Wheels. And instead of doing that, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be fun? And I actually have it written up on the board as this, and I'll read it to you quote for quote. If I can read it up there. Quote, kid-friendly, unquote, Gasland's car. That's how I have it written down. And the kid-friendly part was telling myself to use one of these little plastic cars that I found. Well, a couple months ago, a month or two ago, time flies when your brain is melting, but a couple months ago, Crafsman came out with a video turning one of these little plastic cars into a Gasland's car, and I thought that was amazing, and it is amazing, and he did a fantastic job, and I think that's absolutely fantastic, and it doesn't stop me from doing my own. But it goes to show you that there are times that if you sit on an idea for too long, in my case, my idea was about, I'd say 6 or 7 months before Craftsman's video. But if you sit on an idea for too long, it will get done by someone else, so you do have to, like, move. And of course, there's nothing wrong with doing what somebody else has done. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You'll just do it differently, and you'll have different ways. But in that same vein, you cannot give away the store. You cannot give away an idea and accelerate that process. So as I was saying, I have these ideas, but I want to talk to you about them, but without telling you what they are, which is, I guess, counterintuitive. I don't know. I have ideas. They're there. They're going to get done. There. Enjoy. Isn't that a great conversation? Telling an entire story just to tell you nothing.
Credit to account.
Alright. Do we have air? We do have air. I could blow the ballast and just be done with it, but I think I might do this the proper way. Alright. Now, when it comes to these big, long guys, I actually like to go in from the back. And I'm not going to go ahead and make any comments with regards to exactly what I just said, so we'll just let that one slide. I like to start from, well, it's sort of like how I eat my cupcakes. I like to turn the thing upside down. I eat it from the bottom up. This is not getting any better. I think I'm just going to stop before before I've said too much. Actually, if you've never eaten a cupcake from the bottom up, it's not so bad. I mean, there's really not more in the instructions than that. You just go from the bottom to the top. And if you guys hear that sound, that is unfortunately my cat. He has decided that loud is the current setting that he's going to be at. So he's screaming at the bedroom door because that is what he does. He likes to yell. Where was I? Oh yes, I was outing myself as a cupcake butt noveler. Anyway. Yeah, if you like when you're a kid, you know, you're eating cupcakes, and you always want the sweet part first. You're like, I want the sweet part first, and you eat the top of the cupcake. And you're like, yes, I eat the sweet part first, and it was the best part. And then you have all the rest of this cupcake left over. I mean, there's cream in there, sure. You know. But then you have this, like, thick, brown thing wrapped around it. And if you're keen, what you can do is you can just, like, dip a finger in there and just pull the cream out and eat that and then toss the rest. But if you do it the other way, if you start from the bottom of the cupcake and you eat the brown, messy, disgusting, creamy part first, and then you save the top, and you eat that second, then you get the good part. And I guess the reason why I'm going over this analogy is the idea that, in the same vein, if you start a job with the crappy part first, provided you can do the crappy part without causing an issue, but if you do the crappy part of the job first, the fun part of the job, or as it would be, the sweet part of the job, can then be done second, and you can actually enjoy that part of the job separately. I think that's how that goes. Okay. Speaking of which, no, that's just going to slam into the dirt, so I'm going to pop that, and I don't think... Oh, I can. There we go. There's a lot of force behind this. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, that was a lot of work just to get that big chunk in there. But yeah, you can do that. So we're going to start with the crappy part of this job.
You got about 5 minutes to do it.
Thank you, Weaver. And the crappy part of this job is going to be, well, not to put too fine a point on it, but it's going to be the tail end of the ship. There we go. So yeah, I have these ideas for things that I want to make, and I've had a few. I've actually have, like I said, I have a list. I have a little whiteboard, and I put all my ideas on the whiteboard, and I have quite a long list on that whiteboard. Some of the ideas are like some of the first ideas I had before I even started doing any kind of crafting, and I still haven't done them. Mostly because I get nervous. I worry about messing up. Mostly because you mess up, you can either fix it or you can replace it. Here you go. Oh, it's broken. Well, that fixes that problem then, doesn't it? We're gonna go to the outside. This will be easier from the outside. So you have the option to just start. You can fix it, fix a break, and then or start over. Right, those are your two options. But you don't really have, like, if the item that you used isn't available anymore, or if you're really far into the project, there's just a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to start over. And so for me, it's one of those situations where I could, but I don't want to. So I'm nervous about beginning to begin, because you have to start, right? If you don't start, then you'll never get anywhere, but you have to begin. But so I have a bunch of projects that are just waiting. They're just waiting. But if you guys are curious to see what those projects might be, and I am an advocate of not doing this. I've always told people, hey, I don't like when YouTubers have multiple channels. It's really hard to follow because I like a lot of different things. So why should I have to follow 4 different channels from one person because he's doing 4 different things? And I get it. It's marketing. You do it because the people who follow channel 1 may not want to see what's on channel 2, and vice versa, and so on and so forth. And so because of that, people have multiple channels. And oddly enough, I did have to do the same thing because with my Let's Plays and with my games, I've just been doing Let's Plays and games for many, many years, and to suddenly change that, which I did try to do, actually. At one point I did try to go into, do electronics instead, and that did not go well. I mean, it didn't go badly, but it didn't go well because this is a gaming channel, and of course YouTube's algorithm says, well, we're just going to advertise you to gamers and nobody else. So I get where they're coming from. So unfortunately I had to swallow my pride and admit that you need a second channel, and so I created a second crafting channel. That crafting channel is called Encouraging Things because I believe it's important to encourage things. It's sort of like saying encouraging things to grow, I guess you could say, and encouraging people to make things. With all of my processes and ways of doing things, everything has to be an irony or a joke or have multiple meanings. It's just the way my brain functions. It can't just be one thing. It can't just be straightforward. It has to be funny or ironic or cute or interesting. It can't just be.
Processing
So
valuable
it is
deposit.
encouraging things,
Credits
because
transferred.
encouraging things can mean many things. And there will be a link, I think, under the video, if you've made it this far at all. There will be a link under the video. I'm not going to put one on screen, like I did the last thing, because the last thing was
Salvage
important.
deposit
This is
secured.
just
Credits awarded.
this is just a thing. There may be one in the upper corner, though. I may
One
throw it
minute
up
left
there,
till the end of the line, Cutter.
just so that you guys know where everything stands. And if you like what you see over there, you're welcome to subscribe over there and such. And if you don't, then that's perfectly fine. I've had a little bit of success with regards to crafting. People seem to like crafting more than they like gaming videos. Or at least casual gaming. People don't really care for casual gaming, it seems. They want, well, you know, I can't blame people. I can blame the algorithm. The algorithm wants excitement. The algorithm wants excitement. It wants to advertise, of course, and so it wants MOBAs and exciting games and scary stuff. It doesn't want casual play. People don't buy things when they're casual players. All right, so we almost made it. At least we got towards the core.
Credits
That'll be the end of the
deposited.
shift today. All right, 9.4 million. Go us.
Good morning, shipbreaker.
All right,
This is your
so
daily wake-up
cost
call.
$155,135.79, and we salvaged income of $9,485,483.00. Hey, we almost crossed that 700 million mark. That's a good sign. All right, so that's going to be the end of today's shift. So I'd like to thank you all very much for joining me today and all the strangeness that is happening. As the series continues, it will wobble a bit to and from and back and forth, but that's the excitement of the adventure, I suppose. So, yeah, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you next shift.